In this video, we will be doing a walking tour of Bassano, Alberta, Canada. We will interlace historical photos as we go along, just like this, and talk a little bit about Bassano. If you're interested in the town and the future of Bassano, check out our driving tour as well. Alright, let's hit the pavement and discover Bassano's historic downtown and see what is left of this prairie town. I parked here across the street from the beautiful old postal office. It was built in 1914 and completed in 1915. I did not know if this building was being torn down or not, but the city indicated that it is being refurbished, which is absolutely fantastic. This is what the building looked like originally. The post office closed in 1969, and this was built in its place. Let's walk around the old post office and see how massive this building is. It was the community hub, and imagine all the letters sent to and from this location from overseas during World War I and World War II and the Korean War. It's hard to imagine how a small town like Bassano was affected by these wars, but many men volunteered to fight for Canada and left the rail yard. Some never returned home. They do have some historical photos and a write-up on these buildings. It shows two buildings, one of which was built by Alberta Public Works and was a dry goods and ladies' clothing store. And then it was a liquor store up until about 1975. The building was torn down in 1980. The second building is also gone. In its place is the current pharmacy. Beforehand, it was an implement store and then a grocery store. The new grocery store is across the street from it. Kitty corner, we see the Elks Lodge that dates back to about 1914. You can see that the buildings beside it have changed significantly with their fronts sealed up. Across the street, we see the Sears catalog store, which is abandoned, and a hardware store, also abandoned. The hardware store has always been there with different names. In this old photo, we see a gas pump right outside as automobiles became very popular. In the Sears catalog store, it appears to be a clothing store of sorts or a general merchandise store, but it's hard to tell. The big yellow and white building used to be the Canadian Bank of Commerce. Today, it sits empty, but has been undergoing some restoration. Unfortunately, it appears, however, the restoration has come to a halt as no changes have occurred in some time. The bank also hosted the offices of businessmen and a local dentist. The wooden building beside it is new and was hosting a private party when I walked by. But here are some older photos of what this street looked like back in the day. Across the street is Stiles' Drugstore. Joel Stiles was a pharmacist, but also a very interesting man who was into early photography. Most of the old photos we are showing are part of his collection. Beside the drugstore was a meat market and a men's clothing store. Today, these buildings sit empty. This entire street used to be very busy, and it actually looked very impressive. The building here is for sale. We have seen the prices go from $50,000 to $20,000 to just $7,000 in the last couple years. But even though this looks like a bargain, these are very old buildings and in need of a lot of repair. But it would be amazing to see them revitalized by a developer. You will notice a lot of empty space in between some buildings, and these would have been several businesses. This place still has Christmas decorations set up. Things do move a little slower here. There is a bottle return business here and a coffee and treat shop as well. This building is a restaurant serving fried chicken, Roasters, a US-based franchise restaurant. They also serve pizza and they have gotten some good reviews. It smelled good and I should have went in here to give it a go. Beforehand, this lot was actually a huge hotel that had a bowling alley, pool tables, and a barber shop attached to it. This is what it looked like back in the 1920s. This large building is the historic Hunter Hotel. It is called the Imperial Hunter Hotel now. The inside has been renovated and the rooms renovated some 20 years ago. I decided to grab a drink in here and some food. The service was great and it was clean, but the food was not good and I don't recommend it. Today, the hotel still operates, but there are long-term rooms too for those who want to live in a hotel. It can get a little rough here at night, or so the patrons told me. You can see as we pan around, a lot of the old buildings have been replaced. The Hunter Hotel has seen better days, and it is a shame it is not being fully brought back to its glory. Here are some additional photos of Bassano from back in the day. If you enjoyed this video so far, make sure to give it a thumbs up. We would also love to hear from you, especially if you are from Bassano. What do you remember? What makes Bassano a great place to live? Thank you, and enjoy these historical photos of the town.